There's probably a million reasons why you haven't started your art business yet, and today I'm gonna be calling you out. If you're new here, my name is Indy. I'm known as Doodles by Indy on Instagram and TikTok. I'm an artist and I sell a bunch of stationery products. So diving into the very first reason, and it's a big one, it is that you're a perfectionist. And I think that's the number one reason why someone hasn't started their business. And to be honest, so was I. I was definitely a perfectionist. I am a type A person. I felt like I needed the right product. I needed the right thank you cards, the perfect packaging once I get an order, and the most perfect website to display all my products, and the list goes on and on. And so I feel like if I don't have any of those, I can't start a business. The truth is, none of that will ever be perfect. It'll never be how you envisioned it. It'll never be 100%. It'll always be 90, but never to 100. I've been running my business for about 4 or 5 years now, and I've never had that like sigh of a relief that everything is how I want it to be and how it should be. But the number one thing that I learned throughout the years is that you should just start and try rather than never starting to begin with. To put yourself out there, because your idea of perfect could be so different than someone else's. What you think may not be perfect could be perfect for someone else. Always going to be someone's cup of tea. Something that you think is not good enough may be the exact thing that someone else is looking for. All you can do is try and continue to try and improve, or the next product launch, the next website, the next whatever that you think is not perfect. And when I first started my business, I felt like I had to have the perfect brand name, something that's gonna encapsulate everything I do, what my brand represents. This is something that's gonna be like on my website, my packaging, any articles I'm on, like so and so forth. And so I felt like I had to have that perfect brand name. And so here I am 4 or 5 years later. I still have the same name, Doodles by Indy. But at the time when I was thinking of what this could be, I had so many negative thoughts and doubts of like, is this it? Is this too basic? Is this gonna encapsulate everything I represent? So I think I just like ended up sticking with it. And again, here I am 4 or 5 years later, still with the same name. But I feel like I stressed way too much for way too long on something so simple as like a brand name. But with this example, it's like you don't have to stick with the same brand name for 4 or 5 years or the rest of your career. Like no one's telling you that you have to do that. You're the only one who's telling you that you have to stick with the same name for forever. Like you're the one setting these rules, no one else is. And there's so many artists out there, small, big, or even companies and big brand names have been changing not only their logo, but their brand name. And it's like you just kind of have to rebrand if it fits your purpose. That's all to say that you're allowed to change things for your business where you see fit. Like no one's telling you that you're not allowed to. Okay, and then the second reason why I feel like you haven't started your business yet is because you feel like you don't have enough items to sell, which is a fair thought. You might be telling yourself, I can't start my business yet. I don't have X amount of products that I can sell. And I get it. When you're thinking about a store or a website, you see it as like a store that is filled with items wall to wall. But here's the truth. You don't need a lot of products to start selling. Back to the part of setting your own rules. There's no rule that says you need to start with 20 or even 10 items for your store to start launching. Yes, it does make sense that the more products that you have in your store, the more likelihood someone is going to find an item that they love from you and then buy from you. But that doesn't mean that you're not ready to start a business. When I first started my business, I only had 3 sticker sheets. Yes, 3. And to this day, I cannot believe that I only had 3 items on my store before someone started buying. And the key to that sentence was someone bought something with only 3 items in my store. So there's no excuses as to why you can't start your business with 1, 2, or 3 products. And the reason why I only had 3 items was because I just need to start somewhere, and I feel like I believed in my products, and I feel like someone is also going to believe in my products as well. I showed up, I launched my stuff, and someone resonated with it. People who connect with your art, the ones who vibe with you, they're not counting how many products you have. They're looking for something that speaks to them. And if you got that one thing that they are looking for, you're definitely in business. Also, logistically, I feel like a lot of artists launch with collections. They don't launch a million stickers, a million sticker sheets, or a million pins, keychains, or what have you all at once. They slowly add 1 or 2 products in a collection, and then they build up to that. They have seasonal drops because it's just more manageable, to be honest. Like, you're not carrying so much inventory all the time, and it's just more fun to like hype up like a, I don't know, like a spooky season theme sticker sheet, or anything spring related. And you have to think about other businesses as well, thinking back to the whole seasonality of collections that people are dropping. Like, think about Fashion Week or something. Like, there's always that spring, winter, fall, and summer, obviously. They're coming up with collections all the time. They're not dropping the whole year in one go. So why do you have to do that as well? So stop waiting until your store feels full and just get out there and put something out. And then the third reason is pretty similar, but more so on the logistics and the financial piece of you thinking that your products are not even worth it to start. And believe me, when I first started, I felt the same exact way. Again, I sold sticker sheets for my first collection, my first launch, and they were about, I think, $5 or so at the time. So it didn't seem worth it to me to sell only stickers, because let's be real, as an artist, like, the most entryway product, the gateway product, are usually the stickers, the art prints, things that don't cost an arm and a leg to make. Something that you can make at home without having to use a third-party manufacturer. And for these products, they're like $1 or $2 maybe for a sticker to sell. Postcards are maybe $5 at most. I think these days it's a little bit more, but at the time when I started, that's how much it cost for someone to buy it. And suddenly you're kind of staring back at reality. Like, I'd have to sell 100 stickers just to make a dent. That's not even counting the time to design the sticker, to print it out, to cut it, to packaging, to everything in between to get the sticker to your door. It just seems like a mountain of effort just to get a penny out of it. So at that point, it's like, is this even worth it? I'm wondering, why bother putting so much effort and it doesn't even seem worth it financially? And honestly, the truth is that feeling is valid, because yes, the margins are small, the workload is insane, and if you're expecting success from your first sticker drop, you're going to be setting yourself up for disappointment. But here's the flip side. Those products aren't just about profitability and selling a million stickers. They're about just building momentum. They're proof of concept that people love your stuff. They're kind of your foot in the door. They're how you build trust and test your audience and learn the ropes of how to run a business. You're not launching a sticker empire. You're not launching a postcard or art print empire. You're building out your brand. And once you start to evolve and grow your business and your brand, you can start raising your prices. You can start making other stuff that is worth a little bit more than the $1 or $2 stickers. You learn all of these small systems to build out your brand. Like, I think if I had that overnight success, I would not know how to properly manage my inventory or manage the right packaging material, everything in between leads to this moment. And besides that, you learn like what your audience likes and what they don't like, and then you can cater to those learnings. But again, if you were just this viral success and was able to sell 1,000,000 stickers in one go, like you're gonna miss out on all of that progress and all of those little systems. So yeah, starting with a low profit margin doesn't seem worth it for the short term, but for the long term, it's the foundation of everything else. And the next thing, and it's gonna sound a little bit weird and wild, but you have to be a little bit delusional to think that your business will succeed. So the reason why you haven't started your business is because you're not delusional enough. And when I say delusion, I don't mean being out of touch with reality. I mean the kind of delusion that fuels your belief that something could happen with no proof. Kind of delusion that says, I know I'll make it even if no one sees it yet. Because here's the truth. Not everyone's path is the same. Some artists post one reel, one TikTok, one YouTube video, and it blows up and suddenly they're deemed successful. Others grind for days, weeks, even years and still won't reach the level of success or quote success that these viral influencers can achieve. But at the same time, if you're delusional enough, you know that your moment will come one day. But the difference between you versus that viral influencer isn't the difference between talent. It's the difference of you having belief, you have the persistence, and the refusal to give up. If you're waiting for someone to validate you before you even believe in yourself, you're gonna be waiting forever. Success doesn't come from, I feel like this is very controversial, but I feel like success sometimes doesn't even come from the most talented. It comes from the person who's the most relentless. And deep down, I feel like you still think that you are not good enough and you don't think that success is even possible for you. You think success is for real artists, the ones with perfect portfolios, the ones with a legitimate website, big followings, a fancy art degree. So you hesitate, you hold back on what you're waiting to start, and you sabotage your own momentum. But here's the thing, if you don't believe in yourself, who else would? Because you should be your biggest motivator. You should be your biggest cheerleader. You don't need someone to tell you otherwise. Your audience, your customers, they feed off of that energy. They want to believe that you're as successful as you think you are. But if you don't feel like you're good enough or you're not successful, they'll think the same way. Be that person that says, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how I'm gonna get there, but I'm still going to try, I'm still going to start, I'm still going to try and get there because I know I'll get there. And something that all the artists that you admire had before you even clap for them is that spark, that belief that they can get to where they want to be. And so those are all the reasons why I feel like you haven't started your business yet. So if you learned anything from this video, it is to be more delusional, feel like you're good enough, and let's stop being perfectionists. But until next time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. Let's start our businesses.